I've got the new Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron TIE Fighter, but we're going to compare it to the rare Chase Outland TIE Fighter in today's video. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm back unboxing more Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron by Jazwares. I'm really enjoying this toy line. I'm having a lot of fun. It's fun to be able to go to stores again and look for stuff and sometimes find it on the shelf. The hunt is on. And it's what I like. Rather than doing online pre-orders, which you can pre-order a lot of this stuff. Amazon links down below. They go to support the channel. They never cost you anything extra. They're there if you want them. But I'll be honest, hitting up the different stores and finding them on the shelves, nothing is more exciting to me than that as far as toy collecting goes. And so today we're going to take a look at the TIE Fighter, and we're going to compare it to Moff Gideon's Outland TIE Fighter, the 1 out of 15,000 Chase. Now this one is not a Chase. This should be readily available at most stores once they get put on the shelves. And guys, let's take a look at the outside of the box. Okay, we've got our launch edition Star Wars on the top. Some cool artwork in the background. Is that a Star Destroyer? Looks like the bay of a Star Destroyer underneath. And we've got a pilot that comes with the TIE Pilot Micro Galaxy Squadron TIE Fighter number 10 by Jazwares. Launch edition. And the artwork on the side, and the artwork on the side. Look at the TIE Fighters back there, and the X-Wings. Little explosions going on. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, hey, let's get to this part first. Approved by 03 Sad Babies. Love it. And there's a barcode for those of you who like to put those in the tracking apps, like brickseek.com. There you go. How about the back of the box? I like the hologram look. That's so cool, the way they do that. 90 degrees is how much that cockpit opens. The wings do come off. I didn't explore that feature on the other one. I need to. TIE Fighter Light Armor Class. There's only 3 Light Armor Class vehicles, excuse me. Genevex Fighter, ATST, and then there are 2 Chases. One of them is just like this, except for it's all white. Very much like the old Kenner 1970s toy. And the other one is the, I want to say Raider or Marauder. Raider, I want to say Raider, ATST, from Mandalorian. The episode when they were on that swampy planet. Yeah, very cool. Chase vehicles. And there's a little blueprint, which I'm going to be cutting out and keeping for all of these. All right, let's get this thing open. Okay, I have found that using the X-Acto knife is the optimum way for me to get these things open. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it does seem to get the job done pretty decently most of the time. If I can get a decent cut. If. Okay, there we go, there we go. Can I cut it? Can I cut it? Can I cut it? Can I cut it? Oh, so much better. And boom. Okay, almost got it all. There we go. There's still some plastic left on there, but take a look at that artwork. You can see the bay of the Star Destroyer there. A lot of explosions going on. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Okay, let's pull this thing out. My TIE Fighter pilot already fell out. He already went flying. Okay, we've got our little bubble. I like this bottom portion here. Always kind of supply these so you can use them as dioramas if you want. That looks like the Death Star in the background. Take a look at that. That looks like the Death Star in the background, doesn't it? That circle? That's not a Star Destroyer. That's the Death Star. That's no moon. Let's see how easy this thing comes out. There we go. Not too bad. And just a little sticker. That's literally all that came out. That, and then the pilot. And that's it. And there's my tiny little pilot. In his own little bubble. Let's open you up. How you looking? How you looking? Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so it's just, I mean, same as all the other micro figure accessories. Tiny little dude. Arms move. I dropped him. That's official. That's it. You couldn't see any close-ups of it, but I dropped him. He's so tiny. Now, this should work exactly the same as the other one, where the cockpit pops open. A little hard to get in that cockpit, I'll be honest. I tried doing it one-handed in the last video. Struggled for a couple seconds. This one seems to be a little bit harder to do. But I feel like once you pop it open once, it's good. And it appears to be the same cockpit on the inside. We can double-check by opening and finding out. Let's push my character up and get him out. And we can look at some close-ups on both and determine if, in fact, they are... Oh! I just pulled the wings off. Okay. We're doing this. We're doing this. So there you have a look inside the cockpit of the TIE Fighter. Pretty cool, right? You can see all those little details. Same with this one. You can see all the little details inside. So this is, again, the Outland TIE Fighter versus the regular TIE Fighter. How do the backs look? Any, oh, notice all the writing on the back with the stamps. The Chase does not have that. Nor are there any 2 red dots. Oh, look at the different paint schemes. Okay. You see what I'm seeing? The little gray pieces that are painted on? Where this one has the red dots. How about the front? This one has 2 little red dots. And the TIE Fighter has... very similar. Oh, it's got a little bit more paint. It's got just a little bit more paint. They're not painted as dark. You guys see what I'm seeing here? I'm going to just next to each other so you guys can compare directly. See that? You see the little differences in the paint job. They're not major, but they're there. They are there. The wings seem to be just about the same size, which is nice. On the left, we have the Outland TIE Fighter with the wings that move. And then on the right, we've got the other one. In fact, let's peel off the wings. How easy is it to remove the wings? Fairly easy to remove the wings. So if you wanted, if you had both... I was like, do both wings come off? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So if you wanted to custom paint this, you could. Very easily. I like that a lot. Let's compare our 2 wings to each other. This, you can see the hinges there for the Outland. This one does not have those same hinges. So to the back, probably similar thing. Yeah, you can just tell the difference by the hinges. Now let's look at the actual cockpit versus the cockpit. Oh, wow. I didn't think we'd be able to compare them like this, but we sure can. So on the bottom is going to be the Outland, and on the top is the standard TIE Fighter. Oh, notice the Outland has the cockpit. It's like painted on all the little windows, whereas the TIE Fighter's not. And I did notice it was easier to see inside the standard TIE Fighter than it was the Outland TIE Fighter. It's slightly different color in the plastic, too. How about the back? Let's look at the back. And there are some differences there on the back as well. Oh, I've got it upside down, don't I? No, I don't have it upside down. I don't. There's just a different sculpt altogether. No, it's not. I'm looking at it weird. Yeah, it is. I can't make up my mind. I can't make it. It is a different sculpt. Because notice this little thing back here. This right here, specifically. What is that? What? Does the back open up? The back. What? The back opens up on that? The back does not open. Does it open? No, the back does not open on the Outland TIE Fighter. It does not at all open. Does it? I'm like, can I get my nails under there? And it does not. It's molded. Part of it, it's molded. That is what it is. Whereas the TIE Fighter, the back does open up. That's a cool feature. They keep hiding these features in here that I don't realize till later. So look at that cockpit. Look at all the instruments and everything right up front. And can we see as much? Yeah, we can. We can see as much on the same one. And so where did my pilot go? I know I had a little pilot here somewhere. Hello, tiny pilot. Hello, tiny pilot. Look at this guy. Paint apps are decent. I mean, they don't need to be much. It's mostly black. But look at that. Those are some good details on this figure. It's actually one of the better micro figure accessories I've seen so far. All right, let's place him in the cockpit and whoosh him around a little bit. You know, so far my only real ding on this thing is the fact that it's a little bit harder to open the cockpit. Just a little bit, but even that's nothing. That's nothing at all. And how does the little function work? Where I push up? Oh, see, I pushed up. Okay, now, I didn't get to do this last time. Uh-oh.
Many hours later.
Okay, well, good news. Good news, I got him. I was able to recover him. I would not suggest flicking it like that, because it will go flying. It will absolutely go flying. Now, is there a right way or a wrong way to put these wings on? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So, on the wings, it's not the little circles. These little hinges right here, they're not... Notice the bottom's flat. Notice how flat that bottom is. And on the inside of the hole right there, there's a flat part too. So you have to make sure you're doing those correctly. And then you can place it back on there. And they don't feel like they're going to come off. This is great. This is actually a really, really good toy. I believe this was $12.99. It might have been $16. I believe it was $12.99 for the light armor class. These lighter ones are $12.99. This one I believe was $16.99 for the bigger one, the Moff Gideon version. But this is good stuff. I actually, and you know what? It feels very sturdy. Some people have been saying like, oh, they feel cheap. This doesn't feel cheap to me. It doesn't. The plastic. I mean, the plastic's more rigid. One of the complaints I hear from people, and it's generally the older generation, and yeah, we had it better back then, for real. But the biggest complaint I see with this line, aside from the chases and the rares, that's the biggest complaint. First off, people don't like the fact that there's chases and rares. Just another look at the back there, with it opened. The other complaint is some people say they feel cheap. The plastic feels like it's going to break, like it's not sturdy like plastic used to be, specifically with Action Fleet from the 90s by Galoob. A, that was 20 years ago. Things were made differently. But B, I do think it's a different plastic. They feel different. When I compared my X-Wing to the X-Wing from Action Fleet, they definitely felt different. And so one of the things that I'm going to do is a drop test. I bought an extra TIE Fighter when I was out. I bought one more TIE Fighter. And I'm not going to drop I'm not going to drop this one. I don't want this one to break. But I'm 5'8", and I'm going to do a drop test from about chest level in my kitchen onto a hard tile floor. I'm not going to do it in this video. I'm going to do it with both the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, because those are on the cheaper end of the vehicles. They're like the base, you might end up buying a couple of them because they're so good. But I'm going to end up doing a drop test and seeing how sturdy it is from here, from a chest level fall, how well that works. And if it's sturdy, I have a good feeling about this TIE Fighter. I don't have a good feeling about the X-Wing. And I have an X-Wing from Action Fleet from the 90s that we're also going to drop for comparison. I don't have a 90s TIE Fighter. So we're not going to be comparing that, but just for the sake of saking, we're going to drop it and record it in a future vid and see what happens. But I do feel like this is good. Guys, I have to rate this, and I rate it rad. I'm glad I have two of these. I bought an extra one so I can drop it. Even if it breaks and it comes apart, my guess is only the wings will fall off. That's it. Maybe one wing will fall off. I don't imagine it's going to... Like, my hypothesis is, after feeling this and touching it and playing with it, this is a quality, good toy. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you guys are interested in more Micro Galaxy Squadron, check out this playlist right over here. You can see all the videos of all the different vehicles I reviewed. So thanks so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. That's the most important part. Until next time, don't be a moof milker. Be the spark.